In 2022, I started my journey with Etsy Print on Demand. And as a self-proclaimed serial entrepreneur, it's literally been my favorite path for starting and scaling a product-based business to multiple six figures in the time that most handmade businesses are still in the red. And I would know. I've done many of them and have been on the handmade side for years. I'm not a graphic designer. I'm not an artist. And my attempt at trying screen print transfers to print designs on shirts myself failed miserably in 365 degrees of heat press hatred, which is how I landed in print on demand in the first place. I didn't have time for making physical products myself. I didn't have the space or resources for inventory. And after spending years fulfilling orders myself, I definitely had no desire to start that up again. 2 years later, I have surpassed $400,000 in revenue, and it's quite literally one of my absolute favorite creative pursuits in life, and as a result, has allowed me the absolute privilege of being able to help you uncover that same joy and excitement of running your own successful print-on-demand business with no inventory, no fulfillment, and endless possibilities. So for today's video, I want to share with you the 5 types of niche themes that I would dive into if I was building a new shop going into 2025, and the listing approach that I would take in order to scale it effectively, along with some duds that I simply would not waste my time on, some of which could even get your shop shut down. And make sure you stick around until the end for some exciting and new updates. In case we haven't met yet, my name is Mandy, and as the owner of multiple six-figure businesses and a top 1% seller on Etsy with Print on Demand, I now have one simple mission, and that is to provide you with strategies to simplify the journey so that you can stop the overwhelm and start thriving in your online business. Now, by definition, a niche is a specialized segment of the market for a particular kind of product or service. It allows you to focus on a specific group of customers with particular interests, needs, and preferences. This targeted approach makes it easier to design products and marketing strategies that resonate with your audience, increasing the likelihood of sales. Nowadays, Etsy is a crowded marketplace with a vast array of products, sellers, and customers. By focusing on niches, even if you have multiple in one shop, you can reduce the direct competition that you face, as you're not trying to appeal to everyone, but rather focusing each listing on a specific segment. The added benefit of identifying one or more niches that you can target also means you can optimize your Etsy shop and listings with specific keywords that are relevant to your ideal buyer. This can improve your visibility in search results both on Etsy and in other search engines like Google. Let's dive into the 5 most profitable and scalable types of niches that I recommend digging into for Etsy Print on Demand. While you're watching, see if you can figure out what these niches all have in common. First on my list, hobbies. These are obviously going to be things like pastimes such as knitting or hiking or fishing. Reading or book lovers is another big one. The bookish world is huge and can be diversified with different genres like dark romance or fantasy or even banned books. Other hobbies such as gaming or sports of every kind, including trendy newer sports like pickleball or disc golf. You could also cross-niche these with other big common interests like coffee or wine, or you can even leverage group possibilities. For example, designs for a pickleball team or a book club, or utilizing trendy design styles like sleeve prints for a dance mom sweatshirt with custom names. The possibilities are endless. The next big theme that you've probably heard of is professions. I like to think of these in groups. So for example, professions in the medical field, like doctors, nurses, physician assistants. There's also mental health fields like social workers, counselors, or therapists. There's educational groups of professions like teachers and paraprofessionals. Much like with other niches, this is another one where it will be very important to combine these niches with unique design elements and incorporate things like personalization. Don't just try and create a shirt that says teacher with an apple and a rainbow and think it's going to sell. It won't. You need to get creative and dig deeper into sub-niches within different professions, as well as create unique designs that are going to resonate with that ideal buyer. Professions in particular are great niches to utilize ChatGPT and prompt it for funny phrases that will resonate specifically with someone in a particular field. I have a whole series of design videos and even using Etsy's gift mode, so I'll link that for you in the description. Next up, pet ownership. Etsy customers love proudly displaying their pet ownership, whether it's on shirts or totes or mugs. This could be for dogs, cats, and even chickens or horses. And just like other niches, this is a prime opportunity for personalization so that you can have a listing that is even more special. I recently did a video highlighting Printify's new personalization workflow, so I'll make sure you can access that in the description as well. Make sure you're getting specific with these so that you are speaking to very targeted customers. So for dogs and cats, create several layers of sub-niches for different breeds. For chickens and horses, perhaps you cross-niche this with moms or homesteading or hobby farming. Remember, you're targeting a customer identity with these in order to create that deeper connection. Niche theme number 4, personal passions. Now, these are going to be based around things that customers get passionate about and really care about. So, faith as an example. Faith-based designs continue to do extremely well on Etsy, and this can be combined in so many ways with other niches like homeschooling or moms or teachers or nurses or coffee to create fun and unique designs. There's other niches in this theme such as social causes or advocacy. Mental health awareness could be another big one, and even wellness with New Year's right around the corner. This could then easily branch out into yoga or specific fitness themes or even meditation. Passion niches are typically things that are exactly what they sound like. They create that deeper connection with customers about something that they care about. So when done well, you can really find some loyal buyers. And finally, life milestones. Now with this, you might be thinking, what does that even mean? But think about it though. This includes the ever popular bachelorette niches, which can then branch out into engagement, wedding, honeymoons, which, by the way, are great for destination-specific designs. Life milestones could also include baby and kid milestones, birthdays, anniversaries. These are huge opportunities to leverage personalization, his and her couple shirts, group shirts, as well as the ability to cross-niche with a variety of different themes or aesthetics to further differentiate from what's in the market. Not only can you scale a shop in a lot of different directions with this over time, but as you build a shop around these concepts, you can continue to serve similar customers for years and throughout a variety of special moments in their life. That's why it's one of those themes that just has a ton of potential. So did you figure out what all of these different themes have in common? They each have the ability to scale in a variety of ways and identify with a specific customer identity in order to create that deeper connection. And that is the key in creating products that buyers want, will purchase in a large marketplace like Etsy, and will keep similar customers coming back for more. The benefit of the types of niches on my list is that they are scalable, which means you can continue to branch out in your shop with a strategy that not only supports growth, but also has elements of cohesion and even potentially some overlapping keywords to help with your SEO. So how then do you scale a shop like this within a particular theme? Here's an example. Let's say I was going to create a shop based around different life milestones. I know that bachelorettes are popular and are great for group themes. So then I would look at search volume and E-rank for popular bachelorette searches. So for example, disco or camp bachelorette might have good searches. And then I would also look at Google to see what kind of bachelorette themes are popular on wedding sites for the upcoming 2025 wedding season. Once I have my list, I would take a peek at Etsy to see what kind of styles are trending and in demand so that I can potentially leverage that and incorporate some different design elements into my own unique creations. Then I would work on batching 15 to 20 designs at a minimum for each of the different themes that I researched so that I have more than one listing going up and so that my designing, SEO, and listings can be super efficient. And then I would move on to the next sub-niche from there. If you haven't seen my series on time blocking, I'll link that for you so that you can see a slower over-the-shoulder view of how I batch like this to list and scale with multiple designs in a single sub-niche. I would then make sure I'm incorporating personalization, whether it's a name or a specific destination, and I would create separate listings that are intended for both individuals as well as groups whenever possible. Get those listed and then move on to another branch of life milestones, perhaps anniversaries. Anniversaries are fun because you can then create scalable designs for every single initial year. Think 1-year anniversary, 2-year anniversary, and so on, as well as bigger milestones like 10 years or 20 years. You can also leverage different themes, perhaps for couples that like the outdoors or travel or even gaming. Remember how camping bachelorettes were popular? Carry that theme into anniversaries. By cross-niching your designs, for example, a 5-year anniversary his and her shirts that have a camping theme, you can now leverage keywords in your SEO strategy that include not only your core niche, like anniversaries, but also different themes, like camping. This means you can reach even more customers with similar interests. If I were creating a shop like this, I would continue in this manner of researching sub-niches, batching a variety of designs and listings, and then moving into the next related sub-niche. I would also focus on no more than 1 or 2 product types at a time so that I can batch my listings faster and validate my niches and designs with data in order to be able to make better decisions. As you start getting some volume, make sure that you are also looking at that listing data. If you've watched my videos, you know that I'm a big believer in volume, but not just volume for the sake of volume, but volume because of math and data. When you batch listings with multiple going up at the same time in niches, you're basically infiltrating these niches with new listings all at once. And the law of probability means that you're going to start getting data on which listings start getting more traction than others in the algorithm. This then helps guide you as you create more listings. If you see certain niches and design styles doing well, you can scale with more like them. And if you see listings not getting any traction at all over time, you'll know that you need to go in a different direction. If you're only creating 1 or 2 listings before moving on to the next niche, it's going to be so much harder to actually get any data to understand if it's going to perform well for you or not. And before you know it, you have 100 different listings in 100 different niches with 100 different products and no real sense of direction. Sound familiar? As designs start selling though, you can also start scaling your products. If you have something selling on sweatshirts, make a t-shirt option, or vice versa. Think about complementary products that make sense for your customers. For example, I mentioned an example earlier of his and her 5-year anniversary couple shirts with a camping theme. And let's say we customize it with the couple's honeymoon destination, and that listing started selling really well. My next thought would be to do a his and her mug listing with the same design, but as a new listing. I can then leverage similar keywords in the title and tags from the first listing, and then I would also backlink the listings in the description of both so that customers looking at it will see that there's a matching version. You could also leverage Etsy's new bundling discount option to create further interest and highlight that there is a matching product. Over time, with this strategy, you can have an expansive shop serving a variety of customers across a variety of sub-niches that are different yet cohesive as relates to different customer identities. And this layer of cohesion and similarity will also help Etsy over time understand your shop and help get your listings in front of the right buyers. Now, on the flip side of all this, there are some different niche strategies that I do not recommend and would not do, especially if you are building a new shop. Number 1, a holiday-only strategy. Now, some sellers will simply keep chasing after the next holiday. Look at the top trendy designs out on Etsy and try to recreate general holiday versions in their shop. To be clear, there is nothing wrong with designing for holidays, but the better and more successful strategy is to connect it to a niche or sub-niche that you are already developing in your shop so that you can appeal to customers that are already related to your shop. This reinforces your existing strategy and ensures that you have a much better chance of getting your listing seen instead of getting buried behind thousands of other non-specific holiday listings. Similarly is number 2, an aesthetic-only approach. And by this, I mean trying to create general designs based around trendy aesthetics like retro or vintage or coquette. Much like with holidays, there's nothing wrong with any of these inherently. But the problem is that if you are not somehow connecting it with a customer identity so that it speaks to a buyer as they're scrolling through Etsy, odds are your listing is just going to blend in with everything else, or you will simply just be forever chasing trends. And of course, I couldn't do a niche video without bringing up the favorite topic that we all love to hate: Disney and other niches that infringe on the trademarks and copyrights of others. The allure of a fast sale is enticing to many sellers, I know. But the reality is that it's just not worth the risk of getting shut down, or even worse, sued. Yes, you'll see a lot of them out there, but they are not your competition, and they are not the sellers that you should be striving to learn from or emulate going into 2025 or any other year. Speaking of 2025 strategies, if you are truly ready to thrive in 2025, consider this my personal invitation to my Plan to Thrive workshop, taking place exclusively inside my membership on December 13th. This is our annual planning session where we will take a deeper dive on guiding you through reverse engineering your big goals, aligning your priorities, and identifying actions to propel your shop growth in 2025. The doors have been closed to my membership for a while now and are now reopening just in time for this special annual planning session where I will guide you further in this process and even provide you with the tools to map out your next year with confidence. As part of the membership, you will also have access to my brand new print-on-demand growth framework to dream, define, launch, and scale your online business. It's packed with hours of actionable learning, including my bestseller formula and 6-figure scaling method that I touched on a little bit today. And as a part of a major glow up on the membership platform, there's also now specialized learning hubs for key success areas such as design, niches, mockups, and more. The Simply Thrive membership is where the strategy, the mindset, and the action all come together. But don't miss your chance. The doors will be closing at midnight on December 8th. So if you're watching this after that, make sure you jump onto the waitlist for the next opening. Whether you're watching this before 2025 or well into it, set your vision, plan your goals, and commit to taking daily action towards it. Make 2025 your year to thrive. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you want to learn more about my strategies for thriving in your print-on-demand business, make sure you've got the notifications turned on for my channel so that you don't miss out on any of my free content. And in the meantime, stay focused, my friends. Keep taking action and never stop pursuing excellence in your business. Thanks for watching. I'm so glad you're here, and I'll see you in the next one.